So Mr. Hall was my 8th grade history teacher at Walkwich Junior High. That's who this is named after. I could never figure out why he was so fascinated with twins. Now I know, mutation. I was a twin. He'd always photograph my twin sister. He's fascinated with this. He knew it was a mutation. So this is at Tracy Hall at University of FU. They laughed at him, they laughed at me, they laughed at Paul McKay Brody, they laughed at Bernard DeVoto, they laughed at us all. So here we go. Now this is important. Listen to me. There is no device to test for radiation for Fukushima. There's no such fucking thing. Geiger counter going to tell you absolutely 0 point. Hear me why. And people think that Fukushima is leaking. It's some kind of leaking. It's a big pool of lit. No, it radiates. These are nuclear fusion, fission, fusion. This isn't even fission or fusion. This is creating the sun. So it's radiate. Radiate's a big broad term. Radiate's a broad term. We have no clue what it is. It's never happened in the history of Earth. Ever. Ever. You don't believe me? Look at this. I'll tag the 60 Minutes piece. Lake Barrett took 2,850 days to tell you what Kevin Blanch told you in 1 hour on 60 Minutes. So, I know Lake Barrett personally. And he went on the news, whatever, blah, 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 lots of times, all over different media. And his maintenance guy is my friend, Mark. That big sunflower in my yard? Yeah, Mark made that. The fake one. At Lake Barrett's house. He says, well, Kevin Blanch says the complete opposite you're saying. He says this has never happened before, and this is clear back 2011, 2012, 2013. Lake Barrett. Kevin Blanch is right. Well, that's not what you said on TV. What was I supposed to say? You know. So Gregory Jacko's out on the betrayal tour. So I'll be in San Diego on Saturday. So I'll be there Saturday for dead tide pool jumping. Now, got to be quick on this because we're going to get some low tide just for a couple days. Boom, 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 boom. I got to get it handled. I'll handle it. I know where to go. I know what to do. Now, the government shutdown falls into my tide pool jumping because Point Loma State Park is closed because of the government shutdown. That's all right. They got to get, we can walk. It's a long walk. That ain't nothing. I walk the whole coast. What's that? So this is important for all you fucking, I mean, this is the greatest PhD, and bar none, the tide pool fucking dead pool, the collapse of the salmon, or the smoking gun. My fucking work, my evidence is paramount. And I'll tell you what, no Geiger counter will tell you one single fucking thing. Not one thing. 0.0. You know, they tested for cesium and tuna thing, that just says that it's there. They're testing positive for tritium, says it's there. You know, that's Ken Buckefuck Buechler's own work. But for what is coming off Fukushima, there is no test. So my work has proved it. Broke the luminescence. We had record returns of salmon in 2015. They go to sea for 5 years. Record returns in 2015. We don't count dead tide pools, Kevin Blanch does. We don't count dead humans in bone marrow transplant centers. Oh, Kevin Blanch does. I was almost one of them. And I want to say this about the LDSD State Bone Marrow Transplant Center in Utah. It's a famous bone marrow transplant. You go in on any given day. Utah's population, 95% it's on the Wasatch. Yet over half of the people in the bone marrow transplant are from southern Utah to this day, downwinders on Balca. Then they spray Roundup all over. You put those two together, you know, bored in the Pacific Ocean, you got Futonium, FU. I think he'd be very proud of me. I liked him. He was a good teacher. And I think about my 7th grade science teacher at Walkwich Junior High. Her name was Mrs. Kohler. She was fantastic. She did so much for me. There's Dr. Burroughs. So, finally learning how to read, huh?
Yes. I got the alphabet mostly.
Well, what are you doing? I'm making a YouTube video for Tracy Hall.
Oh, really?
He was my 8th grade history teacher at Walkwich Junior High, you know.
Tracy was?
His brother.
Oh.
Mr. Hall. But Tracy used to come in there all the time, and he was real fascinated because I have a twin sister. Now I know why, because we're mutants. He was always photographing us. So what about,
well,
what do you got to say about when we're going to get a statue of Fawn right here? That's what I want.
Oh, right in the middle of things, huh?
Right here in front of the library. That's where it belongs. Or in the art building, in the Water School of Art building. We could stand her there.
We could do.
Right here.
Okay, Yeah, I'm looking around. Why not?
Perfect place for her.
Yeah. Somewhere. This close?
Yeah. I mean, she's the greatest alumnus ever from this university. But
Yeah.
she's the second greatest professor next to you, I guess, ever.
It's either very kind or very humorous, or both together.
I'm headed to San Diego on Saturday for dead tide pool jump, document more damage from the Fukushima disaster.
Is that never? When's that going to let out?
Never. 60 Minutes to the documentary. So Lake Barrett, who I know personally, Leslie Stahl was over there, and I'll quote him. He says, well, this is bigger going to the moon. She says, this is like going to the moon. He says, bigger than that. And he says, well, where's it at? He says, the Pacific Ocean's right there. And then he says, how long to take it up? Well, we don't know. And then he says, well, how we detect it? How can we handle it? He says, who knows? This has never happened before.
Well,
so you tell me.
What's behind my question is Bikini Atoll came back, and neighborhood around Chernobyl is now a wildlife.
It doesn't come back. The only thing living there is the wolves. I mean, they make it. But there's a hostel. You can go stay there.
I'm just trying out what I've heard.
Well, what you heard is, let me tell you something. I was in the East State Bone Marrow Transplant Center at LDS.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what's the half-life of plutonium?
Long time.
Okay. A lot longer than our lives.
If you want me to rattle off a figure, I'd have to look it up.
Okay. So, a few 100,000 years or millions.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I was in there. I was in the Bone Marrow Transplant Center, died for a long time. What percentage of southern Utah makes up the Utah population, would you say?
Oh, 10.
Okay. Going there on any given day, well over 50% are from southern Utah to this day.
Would you say 10th is fair?
Yeah, yeah.
Still, St. George might be very...
It's growing.
Yeah.
Cedar City's growing.
Yeah, everything's growing.
The red dust. But you go in there, and well over half are, and that's me, because I'm allowed in there, you know?
Southern Utah people,
Let's see, I lived there for how long? I mean, you know you're sick when your Facebook page shows up as your residence as the East State Bone Marrow Transplant Center at LDS. So we teach it in past tense here. Well, you don't. You ain't a science, but you're the English guru, right? Long history of good.
Well, the thing I like about English always and still is it trespasses on so many other fields.
Well, it used to.
Okay, I'll take.
When are we going to start trespassing? I trespass every day. I'll be doing it on Saturday because I got to go to Point Loma, and it's shut down because of the government shutdown. So I have to trespass on public property. Is that even possible? Don't tread on the Queen's Forest.
Okay.
So Devoto, he was a trespasser.
Oh yeah, he was a model for me.
The greatest. The greatest.
I mean,
the greatest.
If it moved and made trouble, he was interested in it.
Yeah. Where was he born?
Well, down there on Monroe Avenue.
24th Street, right?
Right.
I've been in that house. It's still there. I don't see no monument in front of that house.
No, it's kind of a nondescript little house.
I've been in it.
Oh, dear. And
I done some things that you shouldn't do in that house. I ain't gonna tell you.
Okay. I'll stifle my curiosity. I try to. But no, I mean he wrote novels, and that was probably his first ambition. But then he went from there and became a really great historian. And then he was Ralph Nader before there was Ralph Nader, a consumer advocate, environmentalist, or conservationist, as they would have said back then.
Tell your story about of him and Olson driving back from Harvard to Stanford.
Slams on, well, he sees the sign for the county, slams on his brakes. Poor Olson, what the hell? The motto says, get behind the wheel. Why? I don't mind driving out of Ogden, but I'll be damned if I'll drive.
Weber County. Weber County.
I'll be damned if I'll drive into it.
It was Weber County, Iowa.
I remember it. Oh, well, it doesn't matter.
Because John Weber's from Weber. Was it Ogden? Maybe you're right. You could be right. I always thought it was Weber County, but you might be right. It might have been a city of Ogden. Could be.
His animus was always for Ogden.
Yeah. Well, he went off on Logan, too. He went on a good ramp for Logan. What about the Bernard DeVoto Debating Society we used to have right there in that building? Remember his son used to come? And you used to run it.
Oh, yeah.
You were the guy that ran it. What happened?
Oh,
BYU North took over here?
Maybe. There's some of that goes
We need to
on.
bring it back. We should have the Vaughn McKay Brody Debating Society here.
Yeah.
How old was she when she was a professor here?
Just a kid, teenager.
Yeah, teenager professor. Female? Female?
Yeah.
In what era?
Oh, the bad old days.
I like Jefferson's biography she wrote. It's my
Yeah.
favorite. You know, she told her husband, Brody, when she was doing research for that book, you know, she says, God, he was the sexual charmer of all. She says, I would leave you for him immediately, she said, if he was alive. Just reading on it, he had her charmed.
Wow. Well, yeah, poor bugger.
Poor.
There at his wife's,
Poor.
well, his wife's deathbed. She wrung a promise from him that he would never marry again. And he was good for it, but it cost him.
Yeah, well.
And I think if he just had a little bit more of that enlightenment spirit, he would have said, what good is that promise to the dead?
Yeah, well, who knows? I ain't got that part figured out. I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Well, I think, anyway, that's just rhetorical.
Well, keep up your good work and let's rock the boat around here. You and Carl are our last one.
Oh, geez.
You're a native Ogden boy, right?
Bonneville, South Ogden,
Yeah.
Bedloman Heights.
We were just talking about Ed Istone, you know, he's
Oh, yeah.
he's
Birch.
South Ogden. And
I
so
ran around in Birch Creek, the creek bottoms. That's where I grew up.
we used to, I used to have to race against him in junior high, and we were talking about it yesterday, and I said, I had a bad Ogre Valley. I used to beat him once in a while, but that was in junior high. I ran for Walquist. And that was our coach, by the way. Dr. Hall was our assistant coach, and so, you think he was any good? Ran 2 Olympics.
Oh, I know. I was friendly with his older brother, Ed.
I've been going to him telling him you need to boycott the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games.
Until that poor guy, he bought a sailboat and was so pleased with it, he wanted to play with it in the driveway, and he put the mast up and he had a power line.
Oh, is that what happened?
That's what happened.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, life's fragile, Ray.
Yeah.
One day at a time. You guys have been trying to get rid of me for years.
Don't go yet.
No, not yet. I got work to do.
Don't go gentle
I have
into that.
virtual hands, so it's okay.
Well, you know
Oh,
where.
no, I'm going to go like Devoto went. Kicking and screaming.
All right.
All right, all
Have a
right.
good time down there on the coast.
Well, I'm trying to save you from you. That ain't easy, trying to save you academians from you.
Broad consensus on that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.